I want to show some of what we are setting up for injecting this pay item asset data into the model. So this is still in development, so some things might change by the time it gets released, but this should show you the kind of overall concept and capabilities of the software and kind of the direction we're going here. Provide some insight, maybe entice or intrigue you guys, get you guys excited for some things to come here. So I'm going to use guardrail as an example here, but this can be broadened upon to everything else in terms of pay items. But I'm going to just quickly draw one in here so you can kind of see the general workflow. So I'm going to draw a guardrail in. I'm just going to draw one by just offsetting from the center line. And so what I want to point out here is right inside this placement tool, when I have this feature definition set, so guardrail right, you'll see there's a pay item info here, right? So just right inside the tool itself, as you're placing it, you can come in here and start defining stuff. So let me just, key in item number. Now I can do split number. Quantity, right now it's just a key in, but we can pull that quantity. I'll show that later. We can pull that quantity. But now I'm just going to come over and place it. Let's take a look at it. Take a look at the items, the pay item data. Oh, it's right there, filled out. And you notice it's pulled in stuff from our item master. So it pulled in the description. So the way that's working is it's actually pulling in item data specific to that given work set. So here, if I look at my work set in my 990 work set standards, there's an item master Excel file. Uh, so that's kind of cool how we can dynamically just pull that data in, and then we can actually start using that data to extract info and generate sub-summary sheets and whatnot. So you notice it's not in 3D. It's because this needs a profile, right? So I'm going to add in a profile here so we can get it seen in 3D, and I'm just going to speed the video up. So after that, I'm going to turn my focus. I'm going to place a point feature. So things like anchor assemblies, we could do the same thing. So here I'm going to place it. You notice I didn't fill out the pay item data here. So after I place it, I can just go and select it and take a look at those properties. And you can see there's the pay item data, and I can easily come in here and fill out the item number, split number, and you can see that it's gonna read that item master data and fill out some of those properties for me. So now, what if we want to inject more of that asset inventory data? So let's take a look at that. We can come up here and maybe we'll just open up Asset Manager. So I'm still setting this up. You see that pay item one that's already been added, but maybe I want to do guardrail. So maybe I want to actually assign that guardrail asset data to these things. So I could do that by selection set and just select what I want, but we can do it more in bulk. We can actually set up the criteria of what features should get, the guardrail asset data assigned to it. And so I could just go all elements, and then when I hit this, it's going to go through my model. It's going to find all of the items that meet my criteria that's been predefined. And so I can just hit add assets. Now it's going to take a little bit time searching through the whole entire model, and it's going to apply that stuff. So it says it added to 15 elements. So if I come take a look here at my items here, I now have a guardrail. And so we could do things like get station and offsets, which I should have done through here. So I can just say, you know what, I want to add a linear reference to this alignment. And let me do that again and just replace all the current ones in there. All right. And so now you can see that data populate in here. station and offset. So now, I mean, now the length, doesn't really matter for something like that. But if I click on my guardrail run, uh, you can see if I put in the right unit length here as a panel length, it calculated that, it grabbed that design length. So I mentioned earlier we can pull quantity straight from the element. Here's where I'm actually doing that. I'm pulling that directly from the element. So if I were to change that length, this value would change. As well as you could do things like, oh, how many segments is that? If my unit length is 12.5, how many segments of guardrail panels will that be? We can even go far as things as have drop downs, like type it is. Is it an anchor or is it a guardrail run? If it is an anchor, what anchor is it? This is still not fully set up all the way, but you can choose that type and whatnot. What state is it? Is it existing? Is it to be removed, proposed, constructed, not inspected, constructed, inspected? So there's a lot of things we can do here, but you'll see that it was very easy to bulk assign that. If I come and look at that one, this one has it on here now too. It also has pay item on those, so I put those in earlier. And then we can also use this asset manager and just, export to shapefile. We can get all that asset data right in an easily GIS format. But what about the designers? I got all this data. I need to extract it so I can, quantify it and put it into tables and whatnot. So, wouldn't it be cool if we could just, say, okay, give me all my items in this file. So we can use reports, or we can just aggregate all that data to generate tables. So I can come in here and I'll just preview my results. It's gonna pull out all those items, um, the description, quantities, what split if you filled out that data. So here's all this data. So in turn we can take this and pull that data into our journal summary.